So the last thing I want to mention for this section is when we have x appearing on both sides of the equation. Suppose we have something like this. Now, the way we solve these equations is we want to get x to one side. And the reason is this. We want our scale to have a single x that's balanced by some kinds of weights. And if x is balanced by these weights, then that tells us how much x weighs. Now I put question marks here. Let's say these weights were like, say, a pound, 2 pounds, 2 pounds. So that means x is balanced, and the equal sign means it's balanced by 5 pounds. So one of these x's is the same as 5 pounds. This could be lead, and this could be like sand weights. So we want to move the x's to one side. And you can think of it kind of like this. So this would be sort of like the equation 2x equals x plus 4. So what we're going to do, as long as you remove the same amount of weight from either side, we're okay. So all the x's, we assume they weigh the same amount, some unknown amount. So what we'll do is we'll remove an x weight from both sides. If we do that, we're left with this. Since we've removed the same amount of weight from both sides, our equal sign is still valid. We're assuming they gave us a valid one. Sometimes that doesn't happen, but we assume it's valid, and so we have to keep it valid. That means what we take or add to one side, we take or add from the other. So we're taking away an x weight from both sides, so we have an x weight still balanced by 4 pounds. So this means this weighs 4 pounds. So how would this work with the equation? What we're going to do is cancel one of these x's. I'm going to cancel this one. Now, this is a positive x. So like if I have $3 and then I subtract 3, I'm down to 0. So if I've got x dollars, I subtract x, these will effectively cancel. And so, of course, when I subtract from one side, I have to subtract from the other. So I have 2 x's and I lose 1. There's only a single x left. And then there's the 4. And that's it. So how does it work with this? Same thing. Want to get rid of the 2x? I subtract it. If you have 2 x's and you lose them, it cancels. But what I do to one side, I have to do to the other. So 4x minus 2x is 2x minus 2 equals 20. And now we proceed as before. Opposite of subtracting is adding, because we cancel addition and subtraction first before we cancel multiplication and division. 2x, 22. Divide both sides by 2. because division's the opposite of multiplication. And what we did to one side, we had to do to the other. And we get x is equal to 11. And that's it. So any questions about that, let me know.